Hello and welcome. You're watching News Central Television. I am Judith TB. Here are the top stories at this hour. President Tinubu arrives in Abu Dhabi for 2025 Sustainability Summit. Census funds mismanagement. Opposition accuses federal government of mismanagement of 234 billion census funds. And off to Chad, where election dispute, Chad's electoral body certifies results of 2024 election disputed polls. Details in a moment. And let's begin by telling you that President Bola Tinubu arrived in Abu Dhabi early Sunday morning to attend the 2025 Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week, ADSW, an annual global event focusing on sustainable development. Touching down at 2 p.m., that's about touching down at 2:14 a.m. local time, the Nigerian leader was received by UAE's Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Sheikh Shakbut Nahan Al Nayan. This year's summit themed the nexus of supercharging sustainable progress will feature President Tinubu showcasing Nigeria's strides in energy sufficiency, transportation, modernization, public health, and economic growth. The president's participation highlights Nigeria's dedication to addressing global sustainability challenges through innovation and international collaboration. In addition to his delivering remarks, President Tinubu is expected to hold bilateral meetings with UAE leaders to deepen ties and explore mutual opportunities. He is scheduled to return to Nigeria on Thursday, January 16th. The Nigerian House of Representatives is advancing its anti-corruption efforts with the addition of a bill aimed at encouraging whistleblowers to expose corrupt practices, particularly in the public sector. The proposed legislation includes strict penalties for breaches of confidentiality, with offenders facing fines of up to 2 million naira or 2 years imprisonment. Lawmakers are set to debate the bill's general principles when plenary resumes on January 14th, 2025. Originally read on the House floor on November 21st, 2024, the whistleblowing bill seeks to establish a comprehensive legal and institutional framework for regulating whistleblowing activities and promoting whistleblowers, or rather protecting whistleblowers across the country. Sponsored by the House spokesperson, Aki Rotimi, the bill aims to facilitate the disclosure of unlawful activities that impact governance, national security, and the management of public and private offices. The bill is expected to undergo further legislative scrutiny as the House reconvenes next week. Observers see it as a significant step in Nigeria's ongoing fight against corruption. The federal government is under fire from the opposition over alleged mismanagement of 234 billion naira allocated for the postponed 2023 national census, with claims that the funds were diverted to finance election campaigns. Under former President Muhammadu Buhari, the National Population Commission proposed a budget of approximately 800 billion naira for the population enhancing census, with 224 billion naira disbursed by May of 2023. An additional 10 billion naira was approved in 2020 for enumeration area demarcation in 546 local government areas. Originally scheduled for May 2023, the census was postponed to allow the incoming administration to make its input. However, 17 months into President Bola Tinubu's tenure, no new date has been set, sparking concerns about the impact on governance, economic planning, and resource allocation. Labour Party National Publicity Secretary Obiora Ifo alleged in an interview that the funds were used to influence the 2023 elections in favor of the ruling party. He questioned why the Tinubu administration has yet to account for the funds or reschedule the census. In response, the ruling party dismissed the claims as baseless, insisting there is no truth to the allegations. Announced security in a major offensive against criminal activities in Nigeria's northwest region. Over 25 terrorists were killed and 18 others sustained gunshot injuries during military operations in Zamfara State. The operation, codenamed Fansan Yamma, was conducted by troops of Sector 2 of the Joint Task Force Northwest. The success of the operation was confirmed in a statement on Sunday by Lieutenant Colonel Abubakar Abdullahi, coordinator of the Joint Media Coordination Center, Operation Fansan Yamma. According to Abdullahi, the operation targeted terrorist hideouts in the Yakir area of Shinkafi Local Government area on January 10th. Key camps belonging to notorious figures, including Bello, Turji, and Mallam were dismantled during the raid. He added that 7 kidnapped victims managed to escape from the camps during the operation, marking a significant blow to the terrorist network. And still on security matters, the Nigerian police, that is, has called on its officers and men to imbibe professionalism in the discharge of their duties. The Assistant Inspector General of Police Zone 1 at headquarters in Kano, northwest Nigeria, made the call after decorating newly promoted officers of the zone. News Central's Emmanuel Bagudu reports.
A very significant event at the Zone 1 headquarters of the Nigerian police in Kano. The event being witnessed by many, including friends, family, popular Islamic cleric and commander of the Kano Hisbah Board, Aminu Daurawa. The AIG, after decorrecting the senior officers, tasked them to live up to expectations of the public, saying that the new ranks are not for formalities.
The promotees should know that they have actually now more responsibilities. The office is embedded with more. You have to work hard. You have to actually show that, yes, you want that promotion. You have to actually work hard to prove that that promotion, you want it.
Influential Islamic cleric and commander of the Kano Hisbah Board expressed gratitude to the police, saying that the business community in Kano continues to rely on their expertise. Everyone is asleep with their families while you are awake on patrol, either with sticks or with guns. You are just interested in securing everyone. You want the public to sleep. You want the public to be happy. You want everyone to be comfortable. Those that want to pray will pray. Those that want to sleep will sleep. Those doing businesses will do their businesses. This type of work have great reward if one put his or her mind into it.
Thanking the Almighty Allah for keeping us alive to witness this very special day in our lives, or in our career rather. And I want to equally express my gratitude to the Inspector General of Police who deemed it fit to promote us to the next rank, and to our amiable AIG and his management team.
The police in Kano say they will introduce more innovation in the year 2025 to boost their fight against crime. In Kano, for News Central, I am Emmanuel Bagudu.
And on to more security matters. The Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Larry Ishola, on Saturday held a press briefing at the command headquarters in Ikeja, Lagos. News Central's Bettina Willie was there and now reports. Take a look.
As the euphoria of the festivities fades, the Lagos State Police Command held a press briefing to update members of the press on events within the state during the period under review spanning September 2024 to date.
We have unlawful possession of firearms. So many human beings, be it in traffic or by information, are apprehended with various grades of arms and ammunition. Some under the guise that they are for gaming. I wouldn't know a man in possession of automatic pump-action rifle with 90 rounds of ammunition simply for the purpose of gaming, with 5 stunt guns that can disable a human being. 27th of October 2024 at about 14:00 hours, Lagos Island. Information has it that on top of a roof, there are bags of guns and ammunition, in which case we recovered 2 AK-47 rifles with breech number 52573 and 07003-853. Also, 1 K2 assault rifle with live ammunition. This was traced to one of the arms ammunition looted from our armory at Ebutero police station during the EndSARS crisis.
The commissioner highlighted the unfortunate loss of some officers in the line of duty. He also presented suspects involved in various crimes alongside exhibits recovered during police operations.
In the period under review, I lost 3 policemen. On the 19th of October 2024, a distress call was received at Agege that a truck ran over an Okada driver. Policemen ran to the scene. Because the policemen prevented them from burning down the truck, they attacked my policemen. A police officer was plummeted to death by stones just in the course of sheer duty. Just 2 days ago, you see some 4 young men blindfolded. We did that because investigation is still in place. They hired a Uber man inside this Toyota Camry. They apprehended him, stabbed him to death. It was a chaos that alerted our operatives. 2 of them first ran away. We were able to arrest 2. With the man in the pool of his blood, the man is late now.
Looking ahead to 2025, the Lagos State Police Command urges every citizen to act as a watchdog and remain vigilant, as the collective effort of all is crucial to maintaining a crime-free society. In Lagos, for News Central, I am Bettina Nwili.
You're watching news now on News Central Television. We go on a short break. When we return, internally displaced persons return to Borno communities. We'll bring you the details after the break. Join us again. And you're welcome back. Residents of insurgency-affected communities in Borno State are celebrating a new chapter of development and stability following the inauguration of the Naranang Livestock Improvement and Ranch Settlement in Mafa. The project, spearheaded by the Borno State government in collaboration with the federal government, is part of broader efforts to resettle communities displaced by insurgency. News Central's Umaru Kirawa completes the report.
Awaited for Fansan Yamma after over 10 years of displacement occasioned by the retrogressive activities of terrorists in Nigeria's northeast state of Borno. Over 600 households have been resettled here and supported with livestock to pick up pieces of their lives.
We intend, by improving the animal health sector, provide the necessary dairy requirement, not only milk.
Turbo brozol kwadaramboko arambe ala banazi emba kasuru dulimemo de suru gnazi ngo ar praza ar ngo am kalaksa kamo soro awonzi sari daloso kuna so
da mutum ya baka kifi gara ya koya ma kamun kifi. Wannan a gaskiya mu ba mu ki ba a ce a bashi gwamna na dindindin an ba don dokan kasa ba da a kara mura wata shekara 8 ma don abin ci gaba da yayi kuma dukkan al'ummar jihar Borno ko makiyansa zai tabbatar da haka.
The Naranang Ranch Settlement, which includes modern livestock facilities, grazing areas, and community infrastructure, is designed to restore livelihoods and promote economic recovery in the region.
Borno State, blessed with vast grazing reserves and fertile land resources, offers a unique opportunity to livestock growth and productivity improvement in Nigeria. We are ready and open for partnership that will not only enhance livestock productivity, but will also transform Borno into a thriving agricultural hub.
The government's push for gradual sedentary and commercial livestock production marks a critical step forward.
But this has to be done quietly with sensitization and with engagement that can ensure sustainability of the outcomes.
The settlement, which will serve as a hub for feedlot operations, will guarantee the supply of animals in regular cycles. It is expected to produce certified animals that can meet international standards for meat export and local consumption.
Sustaining such initiative is said to be critical in giving a sense of belonging and livelihood to victims of the years of insurgency and improving the country's economy. In Mafa for News Central, Umaru Kirawa.
The Kano State government has lauded the recent judgment by the Court of Appeal in Abuja over the Kano Emirate Council dispute involving the reinstatement of Emir Muhammadu Sanusi II and other parties. The appellate court on January the 10th, presided over by a three-member panel of justices led by Justice Muhammad Lawal, had declared that the Federal High Court in Abuja lacked jurisdiction for entertaining the suit bordering on the Kano State Emirate dispute. The court also called on the State High Court to re-entertain the matter under a new judgment in the interest of justice and fairness.
On behalf of the Kano State government, we express our profound satisfaction with the judgment delivered by the Court of Appeal Abuja Division regarding the Emirate Council matter involving His Highness Khalifa Muhammad Sanusi II and other parties. The verdict overturns earlier decisions by the Federal High Court and validates the government's lawful actions regarding the chieftaincy appointments and reforms in the state's traditional institutions. This ruling reaffirms the government's commitment to justice, fairness, and adherence to due process in our efforts to modernize traditional structures while preserving the cultural heritage of Kano State. The judgment further clarifies the rightful jurisdiction over chieftaincy matters, underscoring the constitutional boundaries of the courts in such affairs. The decision by the appellate court to void previous judgments that questioned the state's lawful appointments underscores the correctness of our actions and strengthens our resolve to continue reforms for equitable representation and inclusive governance. For the avoidance of doubt, all decisions, pronouncements, and orders made by the Federal High Court Kano have been quashed and set aside by the Court of Appeal. Furthermore, the law enacted by the Kano State House of Assembly relating to emirates and all actions taken by His Excellency the Executive Governor of Kano State pursuant to that law have been fully upheld and legalized by the Court of Appeal. Therefore, in strict
A fire has ravaged Akinola Market in Ipetumodu, Osun State, destroying goods valued at millions of naira. The blaze, which erupted late on Friday, sparked panic among traders who had already closed for the day. Many rushed back to the market after receiving distressing calls about the incident. A trader speaking anonymously said the cause of the fire remains unknown. The section most affected was where yam tubers were stored. The trader added that while the National Security and Civil Defense Corps responded to the emergency, the destruction was already extensive. And off to the east, where the Enugu State Governor, Peter Mba, says the Igbo nation can become formidable if it achieves unity of purpose. The governor made this assertion while receiving the new executive of the Apex Igbo Social Cultural Organization, Ohaneze Ndigbo, during a courtesy call at the Government House, Enugu, on Saturday. He noted that the capacity of the newly chosen leaders is unquestionable. Mba also highlighted the numerous tasks ahead of the new executive, emphasizing that the organization they now lead represents the heart of the Igbo nation. The President General of Ohaneze Indigbo, Senator John Azuta Mbata, assured that the executive would not fail in its assignment.
I can only imagine the weight of expectations that must be on your shoulders now. Your leadership experience and your intellectual pedigree precede you. And so we have no doubt that the task ahead is one that you have the capacity to discharge. It is indeed an onerous task, and it begins now, knowing all the existential threats we are exposed to as Ndigbo.
You are gracious to be in attendance with your colleagues, the governors of the other states, all Igbo states, and it was unprecedented in the history of Ndigbo meetings. So, since we are all around, we haven't dispersed yet, we thought it might be appropriate to stop over, tell you thank you for your immense effort and support to
Niger Delta stakeholders have outlined a comprehensive agenda for President Bola Tinubu in 2025, focusing on key areas that demand urgent intervention. Environmental remediation tops the list, with calls for definitive policies and programs to clean up the heavily polluted Niger Delta ecosystem. Stakeholders are also urging the immediate declaration of a state of emergency to address the deplorable condition of roads, particularly the long-delayed East-West Road project, which began 19 years ago. News Central's Austin Azu has more.
The Niger Delta region has long faced significant challenges, ranging from environmental degradation and pollution, caused by crude oil exploration by multinational oil companies, to poverty, unemployment and lack of infrastructure. These issues have hindered development and adversely affected the well-being of the region's inhabitants. Although President Bola Tinubu has already pledged to boost national economic output, reduce inflation and tackle other pressing challenges in 2025, stakeholders in the Niger Delta are calling for specific investment and attention to their region.
The old communities in the Niger Delta are hoping, believing, and expecting that the President Bola Tinubu-led federal government will pay special attention to the people of the Niger Delta, particularly the host communities, the coastal communities in the Niger Delta. The Niger Delta is the economic hub of Nigeria.
Chairman Hoscon Oil and Gas Traditional Rulers and Elders Advisory Council, the OVA of Great Ijere Kingdom, His Royal Majesty Monday Whiskey, called on the federal government to revive the moribund seaports in the Niger Delta region in order to reduce the high rate of unemployment in the region and boost the region's economy. The OVA also highlighted the underrepresentation of the Niger Delta in critical positions within Nigeria's governance structure. He advocated increased inclusion of qualified Niger Delta indigenes in key roles, both within the region and across the country.
One of the huge things that can create job in the Niger Delta today is the abandoned seaports in the Niger Delta. In Delta State, it might surprise you to know that there are 4 seaports in Delta State. In fact, the first seaport in Nigeria is in Delta State. The Brutu seaport was constructed in the late 18th century. It is still there, wasting away.
The president of Ijaw National Congress, Professor Benjamin Ukaba, and chairman UPU Oil and Gas Technical Committee, Igoyota Loki, noted that the region suffers from a severe lack of infrastructure. They pointed to the poor state of roads, bridges, and public utilities as major obstacles to economic development and quality of life. They also called on the president to prioritize the revitalization of the East-West Road, a vital link for the Niger Delta states.
The East-West Road concerns us because as an area, the region producing the resources that sustain this nation, that should have been the finest road in this country. All the monies from Nigeria, most or 90% of the monies in Nigeria are gotten from this region.
The number of hours our people spend on the road is not acceptable. President Tinubu, walk on the roads in the Niger Delta, please. It's a passionate appeal. Please do all you can. I know you can.
Addressing the Niger Delta's complex challenges will require a multifaceted approach. Stakeholders insist that the administration must implement targeted policies and programs to ensure the region's development becomes a priority. In Asaba for News Central, I'm Austin Azu.
Residents of Jos, the Plateau State capital, have expressed deep displeasure, pain, and a sense of hopelessness over the increasingly harsh economic realities facing Nigerians. News Center's Chizobanyo took to the streets of Jos to gauge the sentiments of residents as the 2024-2025 academic session begins in earnest amidst a rising cost of living. Here's a report. Take a look.
Knowledge is power, they say. However, in today's Nigeria, accessing basic education has become an uphill task for many families. The high cost of living is no longer just a headline. It is a harsh reality felt daily in how people go about their lives, often struggling to make ends meet. As the festive season fades into memory, the challenges of this new year take center stage. Rising house rents and increasing school fees are among the many burdens families now face.
Even to get the food to eat is difficult. To pay the rent is difficult. Now the school fees is going high.
We cannot eat as we were eating before. We cannot travel from one place to another. The issue of the economy concerning fuel is getting worse.
The hardship is so pathetic. The children, yes, some of them, the parents don't have school fees. Talk more of what to eat.
Residents share their frustrations, lamenting how these pressures have dimmed their hopes for better opportunities.
Yeah, like what I'm passing through with my children in the school now. I have 3 children in university. One at the Bokos, one at Unijos, and one at the ATBU Bauchi. So I know what I'm, and then all of them, they are living at off-camp.
I have 2 children, but I don't know how I can make up to pay the school fees of the children, even to pay half.
Like most of us in the tertiary institution, we face challenges of handouts, photocopies, and others.
University side, I have a children in the university. I'm saying the president is trying because my children apply for the loan, and this January 8th, they paid the loan for them.
For some, however, the hope for a brighter Nigeria remains steadfast despite the odds.
We are praying for God to intervene in this. Man cannot intervene again because we have tried, man, man has failed us.
The government is not helping the matters. Honestly, we don't know what we can do.
So I'm telling my president and my governor and other states that they should wake up from what is happening. That's the question we are asking. What is happening?
My advice to us, the students, is that let's engage ourselves in vocational training. I think it will help a lot.
Amidst these challenges, the question remains, how soon will these difficult circumstances change for the better? In Jos, Plateau State, for News Central, I am Chizoba Aniui.
3 people are feared dead following a suspected cholera outbreak in Isiodom community and Doni local government area, River State. The incident came to light when a team from a multinational oil company visited the area to inspect an ongoing water rehabilitation project. Dr. Gogo Ogute Isaiah, he's a former chairman of Andoni Local Government area, who was with the oil firm during the visit, confirmed the fatalities. He disclosed that 2 of the victims, who were from the same compound, exhibited symptoms of persistent vomiting and diarrhea before succumbing on Friday. The 3rd victim reportedly died on Saturday. In response, Edna Elate, the media aide to the River State Commissioner for Health, said the ministry had not yet received a formal report of the incident. However, she confirmed that the information had been forwarded to the head of disease control for further investigation. Authorities are urging residents to maintain good hygiene practices as investigations continue. You're watching news now on News Central Television. Coming up, Chad's electoral body certifies results of December polls. We have the details shortly. Join us again. And welcome back. Chad's National Election Management Agency, Gestion Nationale de Gestion des Elections, has certified the results of the legislative, provincial and local elections held on December 29th, 2024. Announcing the certification, the agency's chairman, Ahmed Batchirit, noted that voter turnout was moderate despite earlier projections of low participation. The elections marked a significant milestone as voters returned to the polls after 3 years of military rule. However, the process was marred by a boycott call from opposition candidates who continue to dispute the legacy or the legitimacy, of last year's presidential election, alleging fraud. Now, observers are closely monitoring the aftermath of the polls as Chad navigates its transition back to civilian governance amidst ongoing political tensions.
Au regard des résultats, un certain nombre de partis politiques se détachent du lot. Il s'agit notamment du MPS, de RNDT Le Réveil, de l'UNDR, du RDP, du PLD et du PCS. Tous les résultats détaillés sont publiés sur le site de l'Ange. Cependant, il est à noter que les scrutins qui se sont tenus un dimanche, un jour de culte pour les chrétiens et en pleine période de fête de fin d'année, ont mobilisé moyennement les électeurs avec un taux de participation de 51,56% pour les élections législatives et provinciales et de 50,41% pour les élections communales.
In the meantime, France has officially handed over its 2nd military base in Chad, marking a significant milestone in its troop withdrawal from the country. The Abache base, located in eastern Chad, was transferred to Chadian authorities on Saturday during a ceremony attended by Defense Minister Isaka Mola Jabors. The withdrawal follows Chad's decision in November to end military cooperation with France. French troops began leaving in December with a complete pullout set for 31st of January. French troops have been stationed in Chad since 1960, but this withdrawal underscores Chad's pivot towards strengthening ties with Russia. And off to South Africa, where the ANC party celebrated its 130th anniversary in Cape Town with renewal and survival as the central theme. Now, thousands gathered at the Mandela Park sports facility to hear from its party's leader and president, Cyril Ramaphosa. The president reassured supporters that the ANC's core values remain steadfast, emphasizing that the party is using the 2024 election setback as an opportunity for strategic renewal. He also called for peace in the Middle East and urged the lifting of the economic blockade on Cuba. The event underscored the ANC's resilience and its efforts to adapt to South Africa's evolving political landscape.
Now, the false notion that the character of the ANC and strategy of the ANC has now been redefined by a single tactic of forming a broad, inclusive government of national unity is really a distortion of the realities our movement faced and should be dismissed out of hand.
And I think today the president was very clear in speaking to those issues. But now the big thing is, what do we do about them? Do we move towards implementation? Do we evolve? Or do we then accept the decline of the ANC? And that's not something we can accept. So it's almost a do or die moment for us. And I do think that this particular January 8th had a different somber moment.
You're watching news now on News Central Television. When we come back, we head to Los Angeles, United States, to find out more, as authorities have now declared a local health emergency. Stay with us. Los Angeles, you're welcome back. Los Angeles authorities have declared a local health emergency as ash and smoke from wildfires blanket the area, prompting warnings for residents to remain indoors. At least 11 people have been killed and more than 10,000 homes and structures have been destroyed in the ongoing fires. The Palisades fire, which has been raging since Tuesday, has led to expanded evacuation orders as officials struggle to maintain the blaze. Meanwhile, California's governor has called for an independent investigation into the water shortages at fire hydrants, which have hampered firefighting efforts. A red flag warning remains in effect, with strong winds forecast raising fears of further spread. At least 6 fires are burning, including the Archer fire, which began on Friday and remains uncontrolled. We move now on to business, but let's join our business desk for update on business news. Stay here.
In business, the NGX All-Share Index and market capitalization appreciated by 1.8% to close the week ended Friday, January 10, at 105,451.06 points and 64.3 trillion naira respectively. Positive sentiment prevailed in the domestic stock market as bargain hunting in MTN Nigeria, following signals of an imminent tariff hike in the telecommunications sector, as well as strong performances by Transcorp and Transcorp Hotel, drove the All-Share Index higher week on week. Consequently, the year-to-date returns settled at 2.5%. The return performances across sectors were broadly negative as the insurance closed down 0.9%, oil and gas down 0.3%, industrial goods down 0.3%, consumer goods down 0.3%, while the banking sector inched higher by 1.9%. Still on CBN's non-resident Nigerians' accounts, the central bank has barred local deposits into the newly introduced non-resident Nigerian ordinary account and non-resident Nigerian investment account designed specifically for Nigerians living abroad. In a circular issued on January 10, 2025, the Apex Bank highlighted that the accounts are intended to channel external inflows and diaspora investments into the economy. Additionally, the CBN clarified that there are no restrictions on the repatriation of funds, whether in foreign or local currencies. The naira faced continued depreciation across foreign exchange markets this week, closing at 1,544 naira 50 kobo per dollar on the official market and trading as high as 1,647 naira per dollar in the parallel market. The naira opened the week stronger at 1,530 naira per dollar, but hit a low of 1,548 naira per dollar midweek before recovering slightly. In the parallel market, rates ranged between 1,645 naira per dollar and 1,647 naira per dollar, highlighting persistent challenges in dollar access for businesses and individuals. And finally, in Southern Africa, Zambia Securities and Exchange Commission has sanctioned Standard Chartered Bank for mis-selling bonds issued by Sino Ocean, a state-backed Chinese developer, to a local wealth client during China's real estate crisis. The bonds, sold in March 2022, defaulted within a year and are now nearly worthless. The SEC found 2 violations: failure to disclose material information about the bonds and using exclusionary contract clauses that shifted all risk to the client, breaching Zambia's securities rules. Standard Chartered, exiting Zambia's retail and wealth market, faces enforcement action. The bank plans to appeal, stating it prioritizes compliance with regulatory standards. The SEC began investigating in April but has not disclosed the penalty. Under Zambia Securities Act, the regulator can impose fines or censure but cannot mandate client compensation. This is our offering on Business News at this time. Thank you for watching. The news continues shortly.
The Nigerian Premier Football League has confirmed the date for Enyimba's rescheduled match against Kano Pillars. The 8-time champions, Enyimba, will face Kano Pillars on Thursday, January 23rd at the Sani Abacha Stadium in Kano. The match day 14 rescheduling comes due to the People's Elephants Continental Committee commitment, affecting their domestic fixtures. Now, the defending champions won their last league game against Nasarawa United with goals from Joseph Atule and Brown Idie securing the win. Recall that Enyimba's last meeting against Kano Pillars at the Sani Abacha Stadium ended in a 1-0 loss. The head coach of 9-time Nigeria Premier League champions, Stanley Iguma, has vowed that his team will fight to keep their CAF Confederation Cup hopes alive as they face Al Masry of Egypt in a crucial match in Uyo today. The People's Elephant currently sit fourth in the group with 4 points from 4 matches, needing a win against second place Al Masry, who have 5 points to boost their chances of advancing. The last encounter between the two sides ended in a 2-0 victory for Al Masry in Egypt. Now, speaking at the pre-match press conference, Iguma expressed confidence in his team's determination to secure a vital victory in front of their home crowd.
They are ready. I want to assure you that the Enyimba Football Club is ready. Players have shown positivity in their games. They are trained, they are built up. And after the match against Turji, we also played another game against Nasarawa United, which we won. People are beginning to get our rhythm. I know North Africans, we know the artists, we know their game. They are coming here to see people do some points here. But I think I want to assure you that the Enyimba Football Club is we are ready for that game.
But before we go, let's take another look at some of the major stories. President Tinubu has arrived at Abu Dhabi for the 2025 Sustainability Summit. The opposition have accused the federal government of mismanagement of 234 billion naira census funds. And we also told you that Chad's electoral body has certified results of the 2024 election disputed polls. And that's it on the news. Now remember, they can watch News Central live on DSTV channel 4221, Star Times channel 274. Find us on Avo TV or stream us live on YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I am Judith at TV. Bye for now.